and welcome to another edition of the One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian.
I'm Kyle. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. Just watched House of the Dragon season finale, since I didn't watch it last night because we were at the game, and it was really good. And then, you know, I guess in homage to the Targaryens, I braided my hair all fancy. How are you, Kyle?
I enjoyed Deadpool.
Deadpool is really good. Yeah, we saw that before the game.
No, I mean, they brought back Gambit. They brought back
It was Channing Tatum.
Gambit, which as a kid growing up, I really wanted that. When I was in college, I really wanted that movie. He was my favorite X-Men, and never happened. And I love how they really played that off like I was born to avoid. And I'm like, well, you were. And
I just like Channing Tatum.
also Madonna. Let's shout out to Madonna.
Madonna's one of my favorite artists of all time. And Like a Prayer, that's awesome.
So just
Thank you, Madonna, for allowing them to use your song.
exactly. Programming note, we were having some problems prior to recording. Took about 30 minutes. I think we're good now. So hopefully this episode turns out okay. We're gonna have fun.
We have
Appreciate
lots to talk about.
we do we really though? I mean, do we want to go there?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go there. So today's episode, we're gonna recap Union 2 versus
Cruz
uh,
Azul.
FC
Well,
Cincinnati.
Union 2, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that.
Yeah. Union 2
And,
versus FC Cincinnati 2.
and we're off to a hot start. And then practice observations. You were down at Union practice this week. And then Jean Jacques rumor.
Danley Jean-Jacques.
Jacques.
Danley Jean-Jacques.
Okay. Well, already messed that one up.
Yep, buckle up, folks, because
Right.
assuming the signing and all, is good to go, Kyle, you're gonna have to get used to saying that.
Can't wait to interview him.
Oh, quick. Sam, what's his last name?
Adeniran.
Okay, at least you got that right.
Exactly. And then we're gonna talk finally about Cruz Azul match last night, which was a lot of fun. So before we get started, what are we wearing today?
Well, it's hot out, and this is one of my favorite Union tops. One of the first ones I got back in like 2019. It is just my Union tank top that I like. Yes. And what are you wearing, Kyle? Your shirt's pretty cool.
The heat is on.
Heat is on.
Wearing old school Harrisburg Heat. They brought this out this year, the Heat.
Memories.
MASL, I mean.
Who all been to the Harrisburg Heat? Say yeah.
Say yeah. Who almost got concussion getting boarded playing in middle school soccer during halftime? Say yeah.
Yeah, my parents take me to Heat games, like I said before, thing on the pod. Yeah.
Shout out to Christian Pulisic's dad.
Shout out to my parents for taking me to the Heat. But yeah,
shout out to Bob Lilly, Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of great stories that come out of this team. They never won the championship. They got to the finals one year and got swept, but we were there for the game they lost, and I like left crying as a kid. It was like, hey, think about MLS Cup, and yeah.
I mean, I didn't cry, but I was very sad.
I cried. I mean,
and maybe after the Phillies then lost that night too, I was
Anyway,
good.
But before we get going, where can people find us?
All right, so we're off to a banner start here.
Episode 95.
We're almost at 100. Well, you can find us on social media, on Twitter at TOTWAG, on Instagram and Facebook at The One Team We Agree On. You can find us on Twitter also on our individual handles. I'm at silly_Jilly and Kyle's at Coach Almany. We have our website, theoneteamweagreeon.com, where you can find some fabulous news articles by the both of us. And I'm been around you too long, Kyle. And also we have our YouTube channel, The One Team We Agree On. Also, I have TikTok. I actually just put out 2 videos, one for Union 2 and one for the Union game from this week. So you can find that at Jillian_Almany on TikTok.
So let's get into it. First, let's talk about Union 2
Yeah.
versus FC Cincinnati 2. This is a big matchup. The
Mhm.
top of the Eastern Conference went down. Um, of MLS Next Pro went down Friday. 3 o'clock game. It was kind of fun.
It was weird having a 3 o'clock Friday game, but hey,
Hey, we saw Conrad. Shout out to Conrad
we
LeBlanc.
saw a bunch yeah, we saw a few people. It wasn't as crowded as I mean, not that it gets huge crowds, but it was a little more lightly attended. I mean, it was 3 o'clock on a Friday.
Right.
But still, it was, you know,
It was a good
it
crowd.
was it was good. Bridge Brigade, they were there and you know, um BR was there. Yay.
BR was there.
Shout out BR, the
Yeah.
tiny SOB cat.
Um, I thought, when the lineup came out, and we'll share some clips from this right
Yeah.
now.
We got a bunch.
Yeah.
So well, we were in the press box for that one. And um it actually because the impending storms, it was actually kind of good that it got played earlier because
Yeah.
it got postponed like when stoppage time in the second half it just started. But anyway, start out with nice skies, nice weather. So here's for some views of warm up. There we go.
Wow.
So there's the starting lineup. Um and you have guys like well, Kevin, Frankie, Eddie, Neil, you got Owethu Makanya, CJ Only. You got all those guys in there. So Mike Sheridan was the goalie.
Mhm.
So Gavin Wetzel got the start as well. And so yeah, I mean it was a pretty strong lineup anyway. And the problem is Cincinnati too has really had Union two's number this season, and that was been tough. Now that was a corner where Makanya just missed the header for a goal, and I noted that it looked like his parents were there. I saw in the stands, looked like it was his parents, and I was really hoping he'd score one there for them.
This is a really nice ball by Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, so Kyle Tucker has a free kick there, and head back, and then the pass goes over to Frankie Westfield, who passes. Why just stop there? Because yeah, keep going on that. Because I don't know why it stopped there. Because it's lagging. Anyway, the ball just bounces off. The yeah, maybe show that again, Kyle. See if that. Anyway, it was a really there were. The problem was with this game was there were so many opportunities and it was just yeah, a blast by Frankie going off the crossbar. So that was unfortunate. Marcus Anderson, yeah, he started the game by the way, and that poor kid can't catch a break because he had he had that great game at Portland, and then he had a few appearances with the first team, and then he gets hurt, and then he comes back, and then he gets hurt, and then he finally gets back and gets into a game. He plays against Cincinnati, the
Yeah.
first team at the away game that they lost 4-3, but um and he makes that huge blunder late in the game that leads them losing. So
You feel for him right
you
now.
feel for him.
He
Yeah.
just has not had the season that the Union were hoping for, and,
Yeah.
he's shown promise. Like, I'm a really big fan of him.
Yeah, like, he
We
seems like a
saw it.
great kid, first of all, and also
I feel like
just
this is another Andres Pereira situation, but not as big. Like, he was really good in the CCC early on in the season. We
yeah.
got in that game early on,
Yeah.
and he made some nice plays early in the season. I mean, sure, you want to put the ball in the back of the net as a forward, but I don't know,
I
like,
mean, he
it's
needs
just
development still, but I'll tell you what, like, it was showing
I just
good
like
promise.
his work rate,
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
just can't stay healthy.
Yeah, he just yeah, so he ended up leaving the game, I wanna say it was before the 30th minute, um, and he had a concussion,
Yep.
so that was unfortunate. But anyway, there were shots, I know Eddie Davis had a pretty good shot at one point, so there was, like, a bunch, but they just could not put the ball in the back of the net. There's the Bridge Brigade doing their thing. There's us. And so that's actually
Yep.
first team training. So I think that's all the clips I put for the Union 2 game. But eh, yeah, Cincinnati 2 ended up scoring and they would end up winning 1-0. It was low scoring game and
So this was
yeah.
a game, like I tweeted out, it was a boring game for the most part, but it was a game where, like, we had Sal Olivas on the podcast. Shout out to him. He had
Yeah.
a couple opportunities.
He came in when Marcus went out with injury.
Yeah, and he played well. I
Yeah.
mean, what I'm gonna say is this was a game where, like I said to somebody at the end of the game, soccer's a weird sport where you can outplay a team and still lose.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
They were the better team on the night, and Sal said they're a better team. They are. But at the end of the day, the table don't lie. Jim has said that. I
What
mean, I'm sure Marlon will say the same thing. They had multiple opportunities to put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, Union 2 definitely outshot
I thought
them.
But yeah, I mean,
But it only matters if it goes in the net.
exactly. So you feel hard done.
Mhm.
But at the same time, like now they got a chance against another team that has their number in Chicago FC too, coming in.
Yeah, we hope to see everybody come down for that Saturday, 4
Yeah,
PM, I believe. Yep.
I believe so.
Yeah, and by the way, Bridge Brigade is doing a tailgate. So go on their social media. Sons of Ben and promoting it too. So they're doing a little BYOB tailgate though,
Mhm.
with some food like pizza and stuff before the game. It gets 12 to 3. So yeah, everyone come on down.
Right. So let's talk about, you went down to practice Friday with our friend Todd Lewis.
Yes. Yeah. So we went down, and now with it being Leagues Cup, the protocols were a little different because just normally the way it works for a lot of these pregame pressers and practice and everything, a lot of times it'll be like, okay, um, you can go view practice for like 15 minutes as media, and maybe you get to speak to some players, and you can go to the press conference in person and whatnot. But it's a little different this time because of the setup. And so we had so we went down and we went to the press conference first, and Todd and I were the only ones there in person um for Jim's presser. So we asked some questions. I know I included the clips there. I don't know if you want to play those. The
Yeah.
question. Yeah, so we with asked Jim some questions. And then we also had Ty Rebo on the presser then as well to ask some questions. Afterward, I mean, we can talk about this. Afterward, we saw some of the practice. So there's just some pictures of practice out on the field. So, and we also got to view 15, well, it was supposed to be like the first 15 minutes of Cruz Azul
It was
practice,
first 5.
but it was really like 5 minutes because
So tell that story.
okay. So when Todd and I were in the presser, they invited us to, we were also able to watch Cruz Azul practice for supposedly the first 15 minutes of practice. And we're like, sure, why not? We'll go see that. And so and they were practicing, of course, on the stadium field there. Anyway, so we go in, we're watching it, and they had started early too. So it was before the time that was stated that we could watch them. So we go in, and then someone from Cruz Azul's coaching staff or somebody comes over and tells um the guy there from Leagues Cup that we need to leave basically. And they weren't like rude about it, but they're just like, and the guy's like, yeah, they want you guys to leave because they're gonna go over tactical things they don't want anyone seeing and stuff. Like it's like, okay. So yeah, so we got kicked out of Cruz Azul practice.
Which, okay,
It's
at the
yeah.
end of the day, I get it. You're going
Yeah.
technical stuff. I get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like
Okay.
follow the guidelines.
Yeah. All right. So here's Jim's press.
Jim, could you please give us an update on Leon Flock? And also Marcus Anderson took a knock yesterday during Union's 2 games, so any update on him?
Yeah, first with Leon. Leon will be back in the squad, available for selection. He had a minor injury, but he's fully recovered from that and will be able to help us. And then Marcus picked up a concussion yesterday, so he'll be in concussion protocol. Unfortunately, obviously with head injuries, it's very serious, and we have to take the right precautions, and he has to go through that protocol. So he will not be available for selection tomorrow.
All right. Jim, could you please give us Cruz Azul really pressed Charlotte on their match on Wednesday. With that style of pressing, how can the team limit the costly mistakes? And has anything else stood out to you in terms of their play and their style of play with scouting them?
Yeah, look, when you talk about Cruz Azul, you talk about a top League MX team. They're in first place in their league. That form is carried over to the Leagues Cup. You saw them while it was a 0-0 game. Cruz Azul had a lot of possession, a lot of chance creation. It's a top team, very well coached, very well organized. Some familiar faces and names on the other side. Giacomakis, an incredible striker for Atlanta for a lot of years, has gone there and makes the difference for them in the box. Sanchez is an outside right back that we saw with Club America. So there's some familiarity, but if you look across the entirety of their starting 11, it's 250 to 400 and 500 games of experience that these players have. So it's a top team in League MX. It's a big challenge for us, and I think it will make for a very exciting match. A team that loves to have possession, like Cruz Azul, is very good with the ball, very good at creating chances. A team like the Union, who's good on the counterattack and dangerous that way. So it's a little bit of a clash of styles. It'll be difficult. I know there'll be a lot of Cruz Azul fans here, but I know there'll be a lot of Union fans too. So that makes for a great atmosphere, and it's a really exciting match.
All right. And then you also got to interview Ty Bribo.
I did.
Hey, Ty, can you talk about how playing with Sam was different than playing with Mikhail so far?
I mean, Sam, of course, new in the team. You need to learn our philosophy. Of course, he's a very good player, like Mika, like Danny. I like to play with all of them together, but in the starting 11, not everybody can play. And it's a difficult competition, but it's good competition, because if you want to be a good team, you have to have like a lot of good players, and I think we have this. And I don't think like someone is safe in the starters. Everybody need to work hard, and yeah, I'm happy to play with all of them.
We spoke with Sam, and he said you've helped him understand the cues and playing style. So what did you share with him?
I mean, I try, when I came here, also Mika helped me, and also Danny helped me, and all the offensive players helped me, Jillian also, because when you arrive to a new team, you need to understand like the new philosophy, the new tactics of the team, where to run. For example, if Kai get a ball, which kind of ball you like to give, so you need to do the right movement. So, I speak with him about if the ball with the defender or with Danny, how they like to play. And of course, I'm learning also, because I'm starting to play now. And yes, this is what I share with him.
Hey, Ty, can you talk about how...
All right, so those are all the what was your overall observations?
So first of all, it was good to hear that Leon was back and get some clarification on Marcus, because we hadn't been sure at the Union 2 game. But hearing that players were all healthy, and another thing was, when we were at practice too, we made a point to see, was Damian Lowe practicing, because there was a whole thing about a cryptic social media post, and about being appreciated or whatever. And people don't read too much into these things sometimes, like seriously. But anyway, but indeed all of them were practicing. So anyway, it was, a big thing was we saw how much Cruz Azul would press, especially we watched them play against Charlotte and everything. So we asked about that. And it was good to hear from Ty too, like how it was going with the strikers getting in sync. And Ty has been that new guy amongst the strikers, and now he's getting coordinated with Sam and Deneron, and we're seeing that get better and better too, as we'll talk about when we actually start talking about the game. But Sam he's fitting in. He's getting, I think, a little more in sync each time, for sure. Just like it took some time with Ty. And it's really been great to see Ty emerge too. I mean, think about it. A few months ago, think about Ty being the one talking on the presser. Would you have seen that,
Well, so my whole thing is listening to Ty. I mean, he's so happy to be talking.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. I mean, he's been playing very well. He had a solid game last night. I will get into it, but and then just hearing Jim's comments, what we saw, we knew the Union were going to be in for a battle, and I just am really happy to see that you, Todd, were able to make it down there, ask some great questions to Jim, and let's talk about the rumor of the potential. We say potential because it's not official. Nothing's agreed upon. New signing.
Yeah. So the report is that, Danley Jean-Jacques who is a midfielder, will be coming to the Union, that he'll be signed. So
yeah, I mean, shout out to our good friend Jose. Happy birthday! Yes,
yes, happy birthday, Jose
Jose.
Nunez. Woo.
Yeah. Let's give a shout out there. I mean, he was on this. I mean, there's been a lot of things out there about him. I mean, Haitian defensive midfielder, center midfielder. I mean, personally, I think he's a box to box player, which the Union need. Yeah, he's a little bit more on the defensive side, but he also, you look at some of the stats he's played the last 2 years. He's got League One experience.
Yeah.
I mean,
he can talk French with Bizo.
He could talk French with Bizo. I mean, at the end of the day, $2 million on transfer market. Again, we'll see if this deal comes to fruition before we fully comment on it. But this is exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, a $2 million, 24-year-old, yeah, he's not a U22, but this also offers flexibility. I see a lot of people saying Jose Martinez. Okay, yes, there's been rumors
about him being out.
About him being out. You got Jack McGlynn.
We've heard rumors of that too, yeah.
And we've heard rumors, Leon's in a contract year. Ali may be gone.
I mean, let's face it, though.
You're bringing depth. If this guy's legit, he's going to start. If he needs, a half a year to get familiar with the team, cool. And that might be what it is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. These are the kind of moves. Everybody's saying, oh, the Union got to spend money. $2 million for a League One guy, I mean, from a club where we got Jamiro Montero. So there's a relationship there. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't know. And I think that's the thing. Like, the film looks good, but they're highlights. What are highlights? And I said this
parts.
The best parts I used
highlights.
I used to say this, and I hate to bring up my coaching background in college. When I get recruiting videos, what were they?
All the best.
All the best swims. I'd say to them, can I see some of the average or not so good swims? Because then you know what you're dealing with. And I'm sure the Union scouting are doing a good job with that. Having said that, I mean, there's a lot to like with this guy. And I think this is a Union piece that we'll see what happens if it gets signed. But so anyway, just wanted to comment on that. But again, I'm gonna go back to the fans. This is what you want. Like, you're asking the Union to spend. They're spending now $2 million. I mean, we'll see what the transfer fee is. That's his value on transfer market, though. Will it be $2 million? Who knows? Again, you're gonna bring in a quality player. Ty was what? I think 1.5, 1.6. He was almost 2 million. But again, like, they're gonna bring in what they can, and you hope it works out.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. I mean, it's all speculation at this point, but everything we're hearing that this is happening, so we'll see. And so hopefully it'll turn out to be a good thing. And again, go from there. We can't really speculate much more than that.
No, we can't, and we won't. So let's get to the game at hand. Last night, Union versus Cruz Azul. This is for all the marbles. Union win or draw, they finish at the top of the league.
Right. So
I mean, top of the group.
Yeah. And
if they lost, Cruz Azul's moving on.
But either way, we knew from the result of Charlotte versus Cruz Azul on Wednesday that the Union, that we knew the Union were moving on to the round of 32 no matter what. So there was kind of that, like, okay, that burden's off. But now it's just to see if, okay, are they going to win the group or not? And that was important too, because that's going to change who the Union face and where they'll be. So winning the group was preferable, because in that case, then they're probably not playing Orlando in that case.
But there was also a potential they could, but it turned out they didn't. But anyway, let's get into this, because just a correction from my article. I will say this right now. So I said previously in one article, and I think I said this on this last podcast, that if the Union finish second, they go to Orlando, and then they go play the winner of, I forget, it was Charlotte and Cincinnati and somebody else. Anyway, they were going to be on the road. No, actually, the winner of Montreal and Philly will go play the winner of, I think it's the Santos team that played in Montreal, and Cincinnati, whoever finishes at the top of the table of Cincinnati NYCFC. So the little just correction. Anyway, Leafs Cup's a little different this year.
Yeah. But bottom line is the Union were facing a team that's in first place in Liga MX.
And a team that Jim has said since this tournament's been announced is probably one of the most dangerous teams in this tournament.
And that's the thing. When this is based on how they finished last year, the seedings and everything. So
Yeah,
like that's why the Union, even though they've been not as great this year, and Charlotte and Cruz Azul were both really better in standings than them, Union got the better placement.
Which helped them.
So first of all, just to summarize here, I think the fact that the Union played as well as they did against a very tough opponent, that was good to see.
I will say this right now.
That's a big takeaway.
Union play like that rest of the year.
Yeah.
They're beating probably 3/4 of the team outside maybe 4 or 5 teams. And even then, I could see them getting draws, getting bounced, maybe winning a couple of those games.
They're not losing to the crappy teams if they're playing like that.
No, they're playing
making the
like
dumb
that.
mistakes.
No,
you know.
I mean that right there. That's good. Let's talk about the fans. So let's
dive into that. Let's dive into that.
So Cruz Azul, I mean, they're a mega team. They travel. We heard them in Charlotte. We knew from last year, they traveled to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to be a presence. And we heard
protest or not, it was going to be big.
And we heard on Friday in the press box, it was going to be a sell. So immediately you go
like, buckle up.
Buckle up. And they came.
They did.
I would say it was 70-30 at bare minimum. Now,
at bare minimum.
I've heard people in the press box were telling me, and this is crazy because we were not at that game, that Club America was even crazier. Now, there were more Cruz Azul fans.
Yeah.
In this one.
I heard the fans were crazier with Club America.
Yes, I heard it was a crazier atmosphere at Club America.
Right.
So I want to hear your comments. If you were at that game, please comment
we were not.
Which was better.
Yeah.
Because we had to both coach that night.
Yeah.
But anyway, your observations from pregame to the game and the stadium.
Okay, so first of all, at least in my perception, once the game was going, I would say it was closer to like 85 to 90% Cruz Azul fans. Okay, which is crazy. But when we got there, we went to Union Yards because there's of course no SOB tailgate or anything going on there. But we went over there packed with Cruz Azul fans already. Okay, and as the evening went, it became more and more, and we have some clips and pictures we'll show then. But Cruz Azul fans everywhere, and we expected this because for a lot of these people, this is their chance to see their team play.
Right.
And I understand that. And they have, their team has history and they have fans all over. There's fans coming from Texas and New York and all these different places. And so it's a chance for them to see their team. And I get that. Okay. It's like if you're a big, Prem League fan and your team comes over, yeah, that's why you get all these fans. Okay. Now, of course, MLS once, and the Union, they want maybe especially the local fans to come and be like, oh, Union, well, I can come cheer for them too. And I know Alejandro Bedoya was quoted as saying stuff about this, like we'd love for these fans, because there's a lot of them, to then cheer for the Union too. And I heard actually from people that there were people like Cruz Azul fans stuff cheering when Gazdag scored too. Like there were just people cheering for it. Like that's what I heard.
I did too. And in fact, like I looked down. So we'll get to that when Gazdag scores. But I have some thoughts on that.
And real quick, I did see like families that had, some of them had Cruz Azul shirts on, some had Union shirts on too.
And the Union had done that about one of the families. I forget who it was about that. And that's kind of cool. I mean, soccer, I'm an AC Milan fan. but if I'm a Union fan, if I'm in the stands and the Union playing AC Milan, I'm wearing Union.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Cruz Azul's been around a lot longer than the Union. So it's cool to see that even in that space that, you know, fans are going to support both teams. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
So let's get into the game, because from my perspective, when we're looking up there, even before the game, we're like, I mean, they announced the players. We're like, oh, here we go. It was loud.
It
Like, even
was.
from the press box when they were the chants and everything. And I turned to Skylar at one point and I said, man, this sounds like a Liga MX match. And it really did. And so credit to the Union for hanging in there, because I said, I think it was Todd, Jose, and Skylar. I said, look, Union got to survive that, because I knew that press was coming. That high press was coming. And of course, as soon as kickoff happened, boom, Liga MX came out pressing. Fans were into it. It was basically an away match for the Union. And to Cruz Azul's credit, for the first probably 60 minutes, they were baffling the Union's defense. Now, I will say this: center backs, they were the better team. I mean, the high press, the midfield. I mean, the Union just, they weren't there. I mean, turnovers. I mean, I love Jose Martinez, but that goal was caused on by him.
Yeah, and aside from that, he had a pretty good game. And actually,
yeah,
he even played peacemaker at one point, because I think Mikel Ua was getting all like hot about, you know, something at one point. And
well,
yeah,
let's talk about that, because I think you need to go with the dinner on there.
Okay,
you need to go with the dinner on there, and not Ua. Ua could come on later in the game and maybe change the type. Now, Deneron did, so I'm going to trust Curtin there. I remember saying, Todd, before we walked in, did you start lower Glesnes? He's like, Glesnes. I'm like, I'm starting low. And maybe you should start Glesnes, but I get why Jim did. He has experience with these kind of games.
Yeah, and aside from some reckless behavior by Damian,
and it pretty much should have been a red card that did not get called.
Well, there also should have been a PK for that foul. Yeah, at least one, if not two. But that foul on Ty, that should have been a PK. And it's not us just saying that. I mean, I know Dave Leno said it. I know that, people up in the press box were saying it.
There were two people in the press box that said that's not PK, but I will tell.
What did Skylar say?
Oh, Skylar was livid. But beyond
Skylar's
that,
got reffing experience, for those who don't
I'm
know.
going to say to the people that said that was not PK, I've watched that back twice. I'm not a ref. Ty trips on that ball.
Well,
he trips on the ball. I get that argument. It's a PK. It's a PK. Like, I've seen the Union get that call against them twice this year.
Well, that ref was rubbish. Okay. And and he wasn't calling. I mean, first of all, the yellow card on Ale was dumb. Also,
you're seeing the different types of referees in the leagues.
Yeah. Well, anyway, there was, it was not, it was definitely, Cruz Azul was not being called on a bunch of things that they should have.
Got away with,
but
Union got away with a couple of,
but anyway.
At the end of the day, I will say this, and I'm not trying to
that ref was losing the game, though.
He was, and I'm not trying to defend him here. Union got some breaks, too.
They did, but it definitely leaned more towards
red card.
Okay, but it did lean much more in the favor of Cruz Azul. But anyway, I thought otherwise, besides the reckless stuff, I thought Damian did a good job. With his speed. I thought Bizo had a really good game. Aside from one time, 2 times he got cooked, but other than that, I thought he had some big plays that saved goals.
I'm being a hater right now.
Okay, but there were some times that he actually hit huge. But
can I talk about no.
Okay, fine.
The best Bizo play I've ever seen was that
when he cleared the ball.
The one Blake saved?
Yeah.
No, the one where he's down for 5 minutes because we thought he got injured. where he just makes that tackle because the guy, like Blake's out of position. That ball's going in the net.
Yeah.
And Baza just lays out and makes that play.
Yeah.
Like, that was one of my plays where I'm just sitting there. I'm like,
yeah,
thank you.
that was great.
That was a great play.
Thank you, Olivier. That was
a great play.
That was awesome.
The clearance, another heads up play. And I'll let you say your piece here in a second, but this is now 4 games where this is what we saw prior to the NYCFC meltdown that cost Union moving on, where he got beat, and then we kind of went back and forth, Harriel, and then Harriel ended up winning. Bizo has his confidence right now.
Yeah.
And that's good to see. Am I saying let's start Bizo over Harriel? No. Let's go back to Harriel. If I'm Jim, if I'm the coaching staff right now, you need to figure out, like, Olivier, you did a great job. This is what we expect out of you.
Yeah.
Harriel's going to start. Now, Harriel could move on, maybe not. We'll see. But at the end of the day, this is how you need to play. And if he plays like this is what we want to see. This will get you to League One. This is a confidence booster. Now, do I expect? I think, like I said last episode, Harriel not being there maybe was he didn't feel the pressure. We'll see. But I'm saying right now, Olivier.
Like, seriously, really
4 good matches. Congratulations. Now, do better. Keep pushing. Keep moving forward, because that's what you want. That's what we expect. Because if Harriel can't go again, he's probably going to get more call-ups.
Yeah.
If you can step in like that, that's what the Union needs. So, comment. Are you saying, oh, what are you talking about, Kyle and Jillian? I don't know. But I thought Bizo had 4 good plays.
Yeah.
So, sorry. Anyway, sorry to cut you off.
It's fine. No, I think, like, that's the thing about Olivier Bizo that drives us nuts, because when he's good, he's very good. Like, he has some really fantastic games. And then when he's not good, oh, it's bad. So, and
he
gets
Benny Hill bad.
Just my mind goes to, the COVID game. Also, I mean, yeah, and also MLS Cup. But
I will still defend that, even though I have no leg to stand on.
But anyway, so yeah, he's been very good. It's great to see. And you also, like, I mean, yeah, it's just been really nice to see for him, and I hope that continues. I hope he keeps that good confidence and has good games like this, because you need that, and they need that flexibility. And they both, Olivier and Nate, bring different things to the game.
Correct.
So I think Jim needs to also look at it as situational too. Okay, who's going to best match up here too, I think, and fill the role that they need.
Talking about situational, let's talk about that. Bizo goes out, Quinn comes in, Quinn goes out, Glasses.
Okay, so yeah, so about that, first of all, so I'm up there in 136, and Eric and Jane, my seatmates there, were just like, so Olivier goes out, and we're like, and who came on at that point? Was that Choo Choo came on?
Yeah, and then Quinn goes to a wing back.
And we're just like, and Eric, I think it's Eric's like, what is this formation now?
And Jim has told you in a press conference on that, your question.
Yes, I asked, I had asked Jim, so with the lack of depth that we have, the lack of depth there at, left and right back, what would you do for that? Call up guys like Frankie, which actually he was on the bench again. I think that's what, is that 2 times now? 3 times?
3.
Anyway, I think that's 3 times. Anyway, but, or, he said he would shuffle some people around. So we got to see definitely a different formation, because then Choo Choo got brought on, and then eventually Jacob Glessness came on. So we had all 3 of the center backs on there. And they did have Makanya on the bench, by the way, too. I mean, we knew he wasn't going to get on, probably. But it was just like, because, yeah, my friends were like, what is this formation? And I texted you, Kyle. I'm like, what is this formation?
And I said, basically, Union are trying to hang on and get a point in advance.
Yeah, once it was the 88th minute and Daniel Gazdag tied it up, which we went nuts. And actually, finally, we got to hear. Well, I was surprised at how loud actually it was, because I'm like, where are all the Union fans? And it was really loud. But then we found out, yeah, there were actually some Cruz Azul fans cheering for the goal too. So I think everyone was like, yeah, because great atmosphere. But anyway, then as soon as it's tied, I turned to them. I'm like, we need to just get the tie. Just get the tie, park the bus, get the tie, get it to PKs. We don't care what happens. I mean, obviously you want to win the PKs, but it doesn't really matter. So we're just like, get to the PKs.
One last thought, because that's how we were up at press box. Just get that point, move on.
Yep.
Get that home match next round, because we saw that they were going to PKs. There's no way Orlando was going to win unless like craziness happened. Like there was no way Orlando was going to be the top seed in that group. So we were like, all right, Union will play Montreal pretty much, or whoever, and just get to that point. The whistle blows. I want to say Andre Blake. That was the game where Andre Blake kept the Union, and basically
Andre was fantastic.
And Andre, you can let's push the PKs out of the way.
Andre was fantastic. Forget about the PKs. Andre was fantastic.
I mean, you can say what you want. He read a whole bunch of them right. It's PKs. It's crapshoot. I mean, same thing with Daniel.
Does he have the yips?
I mean, maybe he does, but he's spot on. Like, I have seen Olivier Giroud for Milan miss PKs like that for France.
Yeah.
For Milan. And now everybody in LAFC is like,
we saw Messi miss one.
And everybody in LAFC saying this is the greatest signing ever. I don't know.
If Messi misses them, come on now.
It's a crapshoot.
It happens.
I hate this is why I hate PKs, but I get why they do it.
Can we talk about Jack Elliott though? Jack Elliott's the next one that comes up for the Union. He scores, and it was a great one. And the ice cold stare at the keeper.
That's more favorite picture than the other Jack.
Okay, I know Jose Nunez posted it on Twitter. Go check it out. But that was epic. And that keeper from Cruz Azul was like playing mind games and time wasting and all this nonsense. Yeah. So, and that was like when it really started to. So, I loved that stare down from Jack Elliott. It was amazing. And Brujo scored and Sam scored. So we had those. But unfortunately, at
the end of the day, are the PKs meaningless? No, because Jim said best. You could eliminate Cruz Azul. They're red hot. They got some confidence now. They're going to be a tough out. Could this be another Querétaro where we see them back here in Subaru Park? Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though, but it didn't matter the result of PKs. Weren't they going to be second place anyway?
It was
goal differential.
It was
Was it goal differential?
It might have been.
Because Charlotte didn't score, and Cruz Azul had one goal.
Jim said they could have knocked them out.
True.
I don't know.
I'm not sure, but
somebody comment. I don't know. Maybe it's 2 PK losses.
At this point, it doesn't matter because they're going through. But so the Union losing PKs, but again, they got the point. They won the group, and we play. It's gonna be Union playing Montreal on Friday. So, but I do want to circle back to the crowd, okay? So I do want to say something. It was complete and utter BS that Cruz Azul fans were letting the river rant. I just need to say that. It was a disgrace that they're letting the supporter section. Now, when I got into the river end, they were not letting Cruz Azul people up there. They were not letting anyone with Cruz Azul stuff up in there. Okay. Now, in fact, they were, having them go to standing room only. They're up on the Heineken deck and such. And when I was up before the game started, right around the beginning, 2 people came up with inside out Cruz Azul shirts on. Okay. So they made them switch them. So that's fine. And the people, they were not being obnoxious or anything. They were just whatever. They were just happy to cheer on their team, whatever. I think those people understood, hey, you're in the Union supporter section. Don't be an idiot, And that's fine. But then the floodgates kind of open, and they like very like right around the game is starting or right at the very beginning. Oh, they were just coming in droves, and people were not happy about it. Okay, the Union fans that were actually there to support the team. Okay, and that's a whole other ball of wax. Hey, no shade of the people that opted out for various reasons. It's your choice.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to hear a single person complaining though about the river end being taken over if they were not at the game. That's all I'm going to say. Because your butt could have been there. Okay. If you were not able to go for various reasons, it's fine. It's fine. I just don't want to hear complaining about it if you didn't go. But anyway, I digress.
I think I get like if you have like a family emergency or if
like
there's life circumstances, that's good.
That's whatever. Get that.
But I think what you're saying is the people that are protesting and just don't want to support the team and then are complaining about that because I saw that. Yeah, no, I get that. Look, if you are complaining about the US Open Cup, I get that. I support that because I actually grew up watching US Open Cup. I love the US Open Cup. That's not the beef. The beef is this is a reality situation. It was a sold out crowd last night. Guess who made the money? Not you, not us. The league made money. The ownership made money. Why? Well, it's catering to the League MX fans. Okay, cool. This tournament's not going away.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I get that. I personally thought this was an amazing crowd.
It was an amazing. Okay, objectively, it was an amazing soccer atmosphere. That was an amazing soccer atmosphere.
I talked to several people that are friends of the show that popped in and like were texting me like, "This is amazing. Like, I wish there was more Union fans here."
I wish that if there's local Cruz Azul fans, I wish that they'd bind to the Union and get that.
And that's the other thing. They're like, we want to see more of these Cruz Azul fans. We get the whole Leagues Cup thing. And
I love the passion that the Latino fan base has. Like,
and that's another discussion. And shout out to Mike Barrera said that. Like, hey, we need to be bringing this in. But for those of you who are just being negative Nelly and just hating on this, like, can we just pause, be a supporter?
Yeah.
And again, various reasons. I get that. We're not talking to you.
Like, I get
it. We're talking to people that just want to be haters.
Yeah. Like, I get it if, you know, maybe financially you just don't want to opt in or like, that's fine. I get that. Okay. But.
And I'm talking to you right now, and you know who you are, that decided not to come to this game. I'm looking right at you, Johnny, because you had that conversation with said person. Where were you? You're just having that conversation.
Anyway, listen.
I'm leaving that one in.
Okay.
Because that's a shot.
Okay. So here's the thing. Protest or not, the stadium was going to be overrun by Cruz Azul fans.
Right.
Okay. That was definitely going to happen. The difference is they might not have been all over the river end had that not happened. But, you know, would it have made more sense for the Union to make that game the one that's included with the tickets? Yes. And we heard that from a few people, including Ryan Bross. Okay.
And that's a good point. They should have made this game in there.
Yeah, that would have made more sense. But here's the thing, of course, you're not going to get the amount of Charlotte supporters there and have all those people in the stadium. So they want to get more Union fans in the stadium when it's a Charlotte game. It comes down to money. And here's the thing. You know, would I like to see them still have the Open Cup, you know, participation in the Open Cup? Sure. Absolutely. For historical reasons and everything. Did I care about the Open Cup as much when we were playing in it? No. But
I do like the
Open Cup. No, like it's fun. It's great. I'm just saying, like, it's whatever, but it's for historical reasons and whatnot. It's good. I would have liked to maybe, you could put your like B squad out there, basically, have like the backups in, have Union 2 guys in. Can two things be true? Yes. We could still maybe find a way to participate in the Open Cup, but also still have Leagues Cup because it brings great competition. And the big thing is having a berth in CCC. We would not have been in CCC. I should say the union would not have been in CCC if not for getting third place in Leagues Cup last year. Is it a money grab? Absolutely, 100%. Okay.
I know nobody wants to hear from me about how to fix Leagues Cup. I mean, U.S. Open Cup.
Mm-hmm.
No one cares.
But
I will say this: give more CC, bursts.
Give it more incentive. Yeah.
Give more money. U.S. Soccer get more sponsorships, but also understand this, guys. Again, not going back to swimming. People are like, guys, God, quit going back to swimming. But you got rid of the U.S. Open Cup many moons ago.
In swimming.
And then they made it a more profitable one. It's a reality. Money talks at the end of the day, even at the national level. So we have to find a way to keep those traditions. Now, they kind of brought it back in the Pro Series. They brought the U.S. Open back in Pro Series.
Yeah, and our swimmers go to that.
Yeah. But again, things evolve, things change, guys. And again, I'm not sitting here saying this is reality, you need to accept it. No, I think there needs to be some debate and open conversation within MLS and U.S. Soccer. They need to quit warring and actually work together. Having said that, Leagues Cup's fun.
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have fun at the Leagues Cup last year. And again, it's great atmosphere. It's, playing against Liga MX teams, which brings great competition. Playing against a team like Cruz Azul, let's face it, is better than playing against some low-level like USL team or something. But also, I know it's big for those USL teams, and the grassroots soccer and all that. Like that part of it's really cool. Wouldn't I love to see like the Union play like the Pittsburgh Riverhounds or something? Just
I'm looking
okay, I know what you're talking about. You want to see them play the Las Vegas Lights.
In Las Vegas. And if that ever happens, you know who's going to be at the game? Not you. I'll be there.
I would go, but I'd be wearing my Union stuff, so.
I would too.
Yeah.
I'm not lying. I'd be sitting down there with our friends we met.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what? A lot of those guys who we met at the Lights, sorry to go off on a tangent here, they're all MLS supporters. A lot of them love LASC, some like DC, some like random teams. Like,
guess what? It's possible to like multiple teams. So again, I hope some of the Cruz Azul fans last night realized, oh hey, Union, this is a pretty good team and this is a cool place, and maybe to start following them. You can like teams in multiple leagues. Okay? Just like we'd love for the people that are all Prem League fans, look at all the people that showed up for the Liverpool Arsenal game. Like we'd love to see, because there's soccer fans in Philly, lots of soccer fans in Philly, that it'd be nice to get them to buy into the Union. But anyway, so let's finish up this thought here. But yeah, so long story short, my experience was that the security couldn't handle the amount of Cruz Azul fans coming in, and they just kind of, I think, gave up. Plus they were kind of just told to, just let them in. I heard that it's one of the people nearby actually called fan services rep about it, because there are people like with flags and different stuff. Now, to be fair, most of the people around us were just being chill. I mean, obviously when Cruz Azul scored, some of them kind of tempered it because they knew where they were. But the thing was, we didn't really have any problems, people around us, but I did hear about people elsewhere. Actually, at one point, Fang came in the section and dumped popcorn on Cruz Azul fans, which is kind of funny. Because I mean, hey, yes, that was good because, nice non-harmful thing, but it proves a point. But anyway, so, it was just, it was not good. It was not a good look having all them in the river end, but anyway, it was what it was. And so, I mean, I think from what it sounded like, the people were way less crazy than the Club America fans. So there's that. But anyway, so that was my experience with it and everything. And so.
Hey, you're moving on.
Yep.
And so that we're happy. So coming up, we got a busy week again. We do. We got a presser on Thursday, sounds like.
Yeah, so there's going to be presser Thursday morning. And I know some people mentioned, they didn't have the presser out there on the Union's YouTube channel. I think like they did before with the pregame one.
I did see on Leagues Cup they had the post match one.
Oh yeah, they put the post match one, but I know some people weren't able to see the one that like we shared the clips. So we'll see what happens with that. But
we'll try to share as much as we can, and then also we'll be there covering for Montreal versus the Union on Friday, and then we'll be back for coverage on Saturday too. So
for Union too.
Yeah, busy end of the week.
I don't expect Montreal fans to overrun Subaru Park, so
watch.
That would be hilarious. Now, I want some retribution for the game that we witnessed up in Montreal. They shouldn't be facing Andrew Rick this time, so there's that.
Let's see what happens. They shouldn't be facing Zemla either. So
yeah.
Anyway, that's all for this episode, the One Team We Agree On.
Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe and leave us comments because we love hearing from you, and just chat with us at the games if you see us around, and engage with us on social media. We love hearing from you, and whether you think we have crap takes or you like our takes or whatever, hey, we love to hear it.
Or if you think Kyle's better than Jillian.
Or if you think really.
No, I'm just kidding.
You know, you can tell us who you think's better, but
everybody's gonna say Jillian's better than Kyle. No, we're just having fun.
You know why? Because go Birds and
let me be honest. Let me be honest.
Although Allie likes the Dolphins, but
yeah, Allie does like Dolphins. But I'll also be honest, I'm really proud of you. And I've said this to a lot of people up in the press box and fans. Like, I'm so proud of you. So
you make me blush.
Jillian is better than Kyle right now because
But you're the one actually with the communications degree.
But at the end of the day, we're One Team We Agree On.
We are, and
we're a team. And that's what makes this podcast special.
Can you believe we're almost at 100 episodes though? That's crazy. We have some great things coming up. We're have some things in the works for more interviews and special episodes and stuff. So stay tuned for that.
Definitely. And again, thank you. We didn't think we'd even make it to 95. Heck, I think we thought we'd make it to like 20 and that'd be like, yay.
Yeah.
But hey, we're here. We appreciate everybody. And we really do. And again, we're just having fun.
Yeah.
And we want to spread the love of the Union. So
yeah, when it comes down to it, that's the thing. We love the Union. We love covering it. We love all the people we've met
guys
from it.
And just have fun. So please interact with us. If you have some great takes, if you don't like our takes, I mean, that's fine.
It's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
We're in our 40s. We're not going to get offended and go on social media and blast people. That's all I'm going to say. So until next time, I'm Kyle.
I'm Jillian.
And we'll see you at the game.
Just gave away my age.